Thank you very much, and we welcome everyone to the April 4th Mesa City Council meeting. I would like to excuse Councilmember Luna, who is recovering from surgery, and we wish him a speedy recovery. We will begin the meeting with an invocation by Pastor Josh Harp from the Via Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by Scout Luke Powers. I'd invite everyone to stand, and please remain standing for the prayer and the pledge.
Will you please bow your head as I pray? Dear wise and loving Father, first I want to say thank you on behalf of all who have gathered here today. Especially we thank you for your abundant blessings. God, we thank you for life itself, for the measure of health that we need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance, for friendship. We thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. We thank you, God, for loving us, being so gracious to us through Jesus. You tell us through your word that you are the one who establishes our governing authorities to promote peace, order, and justice. Therefore, I pray for our mayor, for our various levels of city officials, and in particular for this assembled council. I'm asking that you would graciously grant them wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our times. Give them a sense of the welfare and the true needs of our people. Grant them a keen thirst for justice and a flourishing city. Give them confidence in what is good and fitting. Grant them, O Lord, the ability to work together in harmony, even when there is dishonest or honest disagreement. Give them personal peace in their lives and joy in this role that you've established for them. And I pray specifically for the agenda set before them today, that you'd give them great wisdom. Please give us an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Mesa. It's in the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, that I pray. Amen.
Amen.
Would you please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor Harp and Luke, for helping us get off to a good start. We are going to begin the meeting with the consent agenda. So I'd invite Mr. Christopher to come forward to read that at this time. Yes, we're going to move the awards to right after the consent agenda. So, Mr. Christopher, could you read the consent agenda for us, please?
Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda. All items listed with an asterisk will be considered as a group by the City Council and will be enacted with one motion. There will be no separate discussion unless a council member or citizen requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered as a separate item. If a citizen wants an item removed, a blue card must be completed and given to the city clerk prior to the council's vote on the consent agenda. Item 2, approval of minutes of previous meetings as written. Item 3A, act on liquor license application for Mac West Aquatics Incorporated, one-day charitable event April 15th, 845 South Crisman Road. Item 3B, act on liquor license application for Soccer Village Foundation, two-day charitable event April 30th and May 1st, 13303 South Ellsworth Road. Item 3C, act on liquor license application for St. Timothy Catholic Church, two-day religious event July 8th and July 9th, 1730 West Guadalupe Road. Item 3D, act on liquor license application for Lochiel Brewing, 7143 East Southern Avenue. Item 3E, act on liquor license application for Oro Brewing Company, 210 West Main Street. Item 4A, act on bingo application for Palm Gardens Bingo, 2929 East Main Street. Item 5A, act on 3-year term contract for off-site records management and storage for various city departments as requested by the city clerk's office. Item 5B, act on term contract for 3M radio frequency identification equipment and maintenance for the Library Services Department. Item 5C, act on contract to purchase 200 additional Kronos software licenses for various city departments as requested by the Office of Enterprise Resource Planning. Item 5D, act on 3-year term contract for fire equipment and supplies for the Fire and Medical Department. Item 5E, act on term contract for video imaging vehicle detection camera system hardware and software for the Transportation Department. Item 5F, act on 3-year term contract for replacement protective gas mask for the Police Department. The purchase is funded in part by remaining Homeland Security grant funds. The remaining contract amounts to be funded by the Police Department operating budget. Item 5G, act on contract to purchase one additional portable X-ray system for the Police Department. This purchase is funded by a Homeland Security grant. Item 5H, act on contract to purchase one additional explosive ordnance device robot for the Police Department. This purchase is funded by a Homeland Security grant. Item 5I, act on contract to purchase one additional skip loader with box scraper for the Transportation Department. This purchase is funded by the Environmental Compliance Fee. Item 5J, act on contract to purchase 2 equipment trailers for the Transportation Department. This purchase is funded by the Transportation Department operating budget through the Environmental Compliance Fee and Local Street Sales Tax Fund. Item 5K, act on contract to purchase additional replacement self-contained breathing apparatus and related equipment for the Water Resources Department. Item 5L, act on 3-year term contract for fire system cold water meters and electromagnetic ultrasonic commercial industrial water meters for the Water Resources Department. This purchase is funded by authorized water bond funds. Item 6A, act on resolution approving and authorizing the city manager to enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Maricopa County Department of Transportation that establishes the development and implementation of a cooperative process that allows the city to design, construct, operate, and maintain its street lighting facilities within the county rights-of-way. Item 6B, act on resolution ordering the sale of City of Mesa Utility Systems Revenue Bonds, Series 2016. Item 6C, act on resolution ordering the sale of City of Mesa General Obligation Bonds, Series 2016. Item 7A, ordinance regarding freeway landmark monument sign is for continuance to the April 18th City Council meeting. Item 8A, ordinance regarding development of a transitional senior living facility is for continuance to the April 18th City Council meeting. Item 8B, resolution regarding development of a senior living community is for continuance to the April 18th City Council meeting. Item 9A, action regarding subdivision plat the villas at Sonoran Ridge is for continuance to the April 18th City Council meeting. And item 10A, act on adoption of notice of intention to adjust utility rates and setting May 16th, 2016 as the date of the public hearing. Mayor and council members, these are the items on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Christopher. Ms. Mickelson, do we have any requests to speak on the consent agenda?
No request, Mayor.
Thank you. Motion has been made by the Vice Mayor and seconded by Councilmember Glover. Council members, please cast your vote. The vote is unanimous with Councilmember Luna excused and absent. Thank you. We'll now do agenda item 1 on our agenda, which is the presentation by Janice Genevois under awards and announcements. Janice serves as our board chair for the Historic Preservation chair. And Janice, I understand that you have some presentations to make. Thank you for your service, and we're excited to hear about these essays.
Thank you, Mayor Giles, and good evening, Council. Yes, this year we had a record number of essays turned in, and every year we do this contest to promote youth learning about the importance of historic preservation and hanging on to our past as we move forward. Our third place winner this evening for an essay called Up in a Blaze is Tate Norris. And moving on to our second place winner, we have for a essay called It's a Beautiful Day, was written by Taylor Davis. And this year, our first place winner for Anna's story is Rianne Wild.
Thank you very much, kids, and congratulations on those great awards. The next item on our agenda is items from citizens present. Ms. Mickelson, I have received some blue cards. Do you have any additional cards?
No additional cards.
Okay. Thank you. We have 4 cards. Typically, we invite 3 people to speak, but given that we're in the ballpark, we'll go ahead and hear from all 4. The first is Catherine Lara. Catherine, if you could please come forward. And I'm sorry, for the record, if you could just restate your name that I've just said 3 or 4 times. And then give us your address, please.
All right. Thank you, Mayor Giles and Council. My name's Catherine LeRae. I am trying to live at 706 North Forest in Mesa, but I have a next-door neighbor that is taking away my expectation of safety in my home and on my property. He's presently using sandbags for permanent building construction. He floods the side of my house and driveway with water through a block fence. He cut our power line, which started a huge fire. And then our community action officer did not fully investigate that he was enabling his pit bulldogs to access the top of our shared block fence. He admitted that in court. The police will not respond without backup, yet I'm expected to live next to him. A judge wanted us to prove what's in his mind, no matter his actions. A judge would not protect my 91-year-old father, my 4-year-old granddaughter, nor myself. A judge asked if we thought a medical condition was in place. Is that an appropriate question for a judge to ask us? A judge stated to us they did not believe in police reports. We're on our 2nd injunction against harassment, and 2 families have moved because he threatened them. How could I sell my house to someone without disclosing this? Would you? I love my house. I appreciate living in Mesa. I have a heart condition, and my husband's trying to survive cancer. I do not lie. I do not make false statements. And I really don't want children to hear what has recently happened, so I'm not sure I should read it aloud, because there are a lot of children. It was very, very threatening and disturbing. I wish you could all say it out loud so that it would become real to you, because it is real to me. We have written you, Mr. Mayor, and our council person, Mr. Richens, but there's been no response. So I'm here asking you tonight in person, would you be willing to explore all possible ways to help us and advise us? Thank you for your time.
Laura, that's my chief of staff. If you'd connect with him, I'd be happy to meet with you. I'm sorry if we didn't respond to your request for a meeting. Thank you. Next is Rosemary Crawford. Rosemary, would you please come forward?
Good evening, Council. My name is Rosemary Crawford, and I'm a 6th grade teacher at the Learning Foundation Performing Arts School. And I'm here today to thank the Historic Preservation Committee for allowing my students to enter the essay, first off. And we're looking forward to another essay next year, hopefully. And to thank my first place winners, 5th grade Rayanne Wild, and our 2nd place winner, my 6th grade student, Taylor Davis. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you for being a teacher. We appreciate your service. I'm sorry, Erlanda Nez. Welcome, Erlanda. If you could give us your address and your name.
Hi, my name is Erlanda Nez, and my address is 644 West Main Street. We are here once again to demand, do we be compensated for eviction since you want us to leave our homes at Mesa Royal Park? You, together with the owner, has given 30 months for us to figure out where to go. Time runs, and we need a response about payment before the closing date and time to find where to move before this time's up. The entire city of Mesa will know that the money donated by the Salvation Army, Chicanos por la Causa, and other institutions, which were along around $70,000 that they had offered. They offered only $500 only to those families who qualified. Yet more than half of those people did not qualify for it. Back then, we were 125 families. We rejected it for being too little, which was not enough to find a home with that amount of money. Neither the city of Mesa nor the owner wants to pay just enough for our homes so that we leave that space free. And so here we are to demand an immediate response. Thank you.
Thank you, Rolanda. Next, we have Lucia. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your last name. Leodoluza. I'm sorry that's wrong. Lucia Ludezia. Excuse me, Lucia. And I think you're going to use a city interpreter. So for the record, we'll set 3 minutes for the presentation and then allow 3 minutes for the translation of the presentation.
Mayor Giles and City Council members, the next two speakers have requested that I let them read their letters and then I translate for you afterwards.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Muy buenas tardes, mi nombre es Lucía Ledesma. Mi dirección es 447 East Primera Calle. Estoy un poco nerviosa.
Good afternoon, my name is Lucia Ledesma. I live at 447 East First Street, Mesa, Arizona 85203.
Sí.
And she's a little bit nervous.
Estoy un poco nerviosa, es que tengo 16 operaciones en la cabeza. Estoy viva de milagro. Y
She's a little bit nervous because she's had 16 operations in her head and she's alive by a miracle.
Okay. Soy una persona que ha estado hasta ahora escuchando las demandas que hacen las personas de la comunidad de trailers de Mesa Royal. Vi por televisión cuando decían que ustedes y unas instituciones ofrecieron dinero, pues que no aceptaron y no querían salir de sus viviendas. Platicando con la señora Yolanda, me di cuenta que le decían que no es cierto. Me dijo que lo que le ofrecieron era una pequeña cantidad de $500 por familia. Pero no es todo, porque algunos no califican por sus trailers viejas o cuestan como un número de seguro social. El público como yo creo que les ofrecieron una buena cantidad, como unos $5,000 a $60,000, que por necios no querían salir de la comunidad de las trailers, y me dicen que ustedes saben esto es un peligro de riesgo, de alto riesgo, y platicando con ellos me di cuenta de la arbitrariedad que cometen a ustedes, y un antiguo dueño ahí no quiere pagar lo justo para que ustedes busquen un mejor lugar para vivir.
I'm a person that has up to now been listening to the demands that the people have made in the community from the trailers in Mesa Royal. I saw on television when they would say that you were investigating and offering money and that wasn't accepted, and that they didn't want to leave their homes. Speaking with Miss Yolanda, I noticed that what they said was not true. She told me that you were offering a very small amount of money, $500 per family, but not to all of them, because they didn't qualify for their old trailers, or they didn't count on a Social Security number. The public, such as myself, think that a good amount would be $50,000 to $60,000 for our needs in order to live in the community. Trailers that they say that are in danger or high risk. And speaking with those people, I noticed that errors have been committed, along with the prior owner, and not paying what is just for us to find another place to live. Yeah. Dile gracias.
Gracias. Solamente quería decirles que yo pienso que les tienen que dar lo que es justo, porque es muy difícil para las personas que están viviendo ahí. Lo que ellos ganan, yo me imagino que no les alcanza para destruir las trailas o darles lo que vale la traila. O sea, yo, en mi opinión, personalmente, porque para vivir en un apartamento se necesita una cantidad fuerte de unos $2,000 a $3,000 para, por ejemplo, dar el depósito de la renta y también pues para la electricidad. Yo me imagino que es lo justo que una persona necesita para tener un apartamento adecuado para ellos.
I think that it's fair that we should get what is just. It costs more money to destroy the trailers. She feels that $2,000 to $3,000 per family would barely be enough to move into an apartment and hook up their electricity and everything else. And she says that would be a fair amount. Que eso iba a ser un justo monto de dinero.
Sí, es lo que es justo. Yo les digo eso porque ahorita estoy pasando por una situación difícil. Tenía un pulso de vida, estoy viva de milagro. Mis hijos los tiene detenido el Estado. Y todo les pido, por favor, que oren por mí porque en junio tengo corte para que mis niños me los devuelvan. Soy mamá soltera de 4 niños. Y si yo no trabajo, la juez no me da a mi niña. Ahorita tengo un niño de 9 años que apenas acabo de cumplir. Y tengo un Marines y una futura, primeramente Dios, una futura doctora. Y primeramente Dios, un futuro bombero. Es todo lo que es. Gracias.
¿Le quitaron los niños?
Sí.
Okay. And she's asking that you please pray for her because she's going under a hardship right now. She has a court date coming up to see if they return her children to her, and she would just like everybody to think about her and pray for her.
Okay.
Gracias.
Thank you. Gracias.
Que Dios los bendiga.
Next speaker is Yolanda Triana.
Buenas tardes.
Good afternoon.
Soy la señora Yolanda Triana. Mi dirección es 644 West Main Street, lote 46, Mesa, Arizona, 85101.
My name is Yolanda Triana. I live at 644 West Main Street, lot 46, Mesa, Arizona, 85201.
Aclarando a la ciudad de Mesa y a todos los alrededores que no es que no querramos irnos de Mesa Royal Park y de nuestras viviendas, sino que ustedes no quieren pagar lo que nosotros compramos con esfuerzo. La ciudad de Mesa, aún sabiendo que estamos en zona de peligro y de riesgo, lo permite. Y juntamente con el antiguo dueño y el dueño actual, no nos quieren pagar. Si a nuestros hermanos nativos de aquí, de Estados Unidos, ustedes los anglos, sus antepasados vinieron, que emigraron a estas tierras, y aquí donde estamos parados, que es parte de sus tierras, de forma vil y arbitraria, los mandaron a ellos a las reservas. Ahora, ¿qué esperamos bueno de ustedes nosotros, la comunidad de Mesa Royal Park? Y te decimos Mesa City. No somos ilegales, no somos criminales, somos trabajadores de tierras originales. Gracias.
Okay. Clarifying to the city of Mesa and those around that it is not that we don't want to leave Mesa Royal Park or to leave our homes, but that you don't want to pay us what we bought with our efforts. And you, the city of Mesa, knowing that we are in a zone that is considered dangerous and high risk, permit it. You allow it. Okay? And together with the old owner, the prior owner, and the current owner, who doesn't want to
No quiere pagar las
It doesn't want to pay. If our native brothers from here in the United States, the Anglos, and your ancestors arrived in these lands, and you took the natives from here and put them on reservations, what can we expect from you in the community at Mesa Royale Park? We are not illegals. We are not criminals. We are hardworking people, and we are also the people that were here originally in this land.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Interpreter, could I impose on you for just a moment? Would you please translate into Spanish that unfortunately we cannot respond directly to the issues that were raised by any of the speakers tonight, but I would encourage the folks from Mesa Royale to meet with Mesa City staff so that we can correct any misunderstanding perhaps of the city's involvement in their neighborhood.
Dice que les quiere decir que aquí en esta junta no pueden responder a los temas que han surgido aquí esta noche, pero que sí los alienta a ustedes que se junten con la gente de la ciudad de Mesa para que platiquen sobre esto y puedan arreglar la situación. ¿Cuándo tiene la cita?
I'm sorry, we're not able to have any dialogue, so we're going to continue with the meeting. Thank you very much.
Tenía un diálogo, pero nomás le quería dejar saber.
Thank you. The last item on our agenda is entertain a motion to adjourn. A motion and second. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. We are adjourned.